lot of people aren't gonna like it because it might sound too good to be true, right? But this is what I believe. As I rebuilt my brand Conflicted Lovers, I understood, like, wait a minute, there was a lot of stuff that I didn't know, that I didn't use, that I didn't apply, that if I had the info, I would have been good. Better that I get at business, that mean I failed more, that mean I was more disciplined, that mean I had to be more strategic, that mean I'm more intelligent as well. Once you get in a relationship, no, it's not a marriage, but it's kind of a marriage.
Yeah,
you know, like, you're gonna have that person's anxieties, their worries, if they're going through something.
What caused you to have 100K in sales but $0 in the bank account?
Really?
What's your opinion on the clothing brand community?
And this might get me clipped or whatever it may be. I think that
What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to the Pure Intentions podcast. I'm your host, David, and I'm the only one here today. My boy Justin had to skip out on this one, but you know, you guys see something a little bit different today. I don't know if y'all see my head. This is the first episode with my new hair. Let me know what you guys think about the haircut, but this is not about me, okay? We have not done a guest episode in, I'll say, about 7-8 episodes, something like that. We've been more outside. But today, we have a young guy. We have a person from the clothing brand community, and his name is D.
Yes, sir.
D, just give a quick introduction to the audience. Let them know who you are.
Yeah.
You know, what you're here for.
Brief introduction. My name is D. I'm 20 years old. I started my brand Conflicted Lovers at 17. Ran it up from there, and then I just kind of started helping and teaching people and even reaching out and helping other people actually get started.
Yeah.
I'm on here to just spread the message, spread the game, man.
Yeah, bro, I love hearing young guys in the teen years starting things.
Yeah.
I started stuff early in my teen years, and hearing that same fire is in some people, and especially bringing you on, I think is very, very great. So you said you started a brand called Conflicted Lovers.
Yeah.
So first, before we even get there, where are you from?
I'm from Fort Worth, Texas. It's a small city close to Dallas. Sometimes I claim Dallas, but
Okay.
I'm from Fort Worth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that like one of the up and coming cities, or is it just like a military type of?
I don't got no hope for Fort Worth. I don't got no hope for Fort Worth. It's more just like a rural area.
Yeah.
Everybody that's from Fort Worth kind of know each other.
Okay.
It's more of a kind of sports area, I'd say. But the sport's not really that good. But that's the only thing you can focus on really right there in Fort Worth.
So what they're known for is like the fort.
Not even,
Nah?
really. Not even.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I always thought like Fort Worth, okay,
Yeah.
it's a fort there.
I don't even know
But-
if there's a fort there. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. So what's your intention for the viewers? Like, what do you want them to get from this episode, leave with, and basically grasp from what you're saying in this episode?
My main goal, honestly, from everybody that watches this, would just for them to be able to walk away motivated. Just walk away motivated, ready to get to work, to be honest. That's my only goal and intention. They're like, all right, if he can do it, I can do it. He just gave me the sauce. Let me just go do it.
For sure. Hey, man, y'all heard it. He came to give some game. So pay attention. Have your notes out. Make sure that you're keeping up with the episodes, because I haven't. We are on episode 50.
Ooh.
This is episode 50.
It's fire.
You know, and we were going to do like something crazy, but I guess this is something crazy.
Yeah.
We were going to do like, go on top of a mountain and, you know, film a podcast. But that's cool, bro. So what started you in the clothing brand industry? I know during high school, clothes are like a big thing. I had my first clothing brand. It was a failed clothing brand, of course. But I had like 2 sales. And in high school, you know, people wanted clothes and stuff like that. So what got you into clothing brands?
So initially, I was trying like e-commerce, drop shipping specifically. I had like a keychain I ordered from Alibaba, created to Shopify, dropped it. 0 sales, and I seen people was kind of starting their clothing brands like around the 2022 timing. I was like, I could do that because I used to draw a little bit in high school.
Nice.
So I said, I'm gonna try it out. The first clothing brand I started was named Reborn Mindset. I got like some print on demand samples. I thought they was overly hard. Created the Shopify again, dropped them. 0 sales.
Wow.
And then I created another one. It was named Nightmares. I never got any samples or anything. My mom, she was like, I just don't like the concept.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'm going to chill. And then I just kind of sat down and studied after that for like 5 straight months.
Yeah, for sure. So what was the initial inspiration? Because I heard that name, Reborn Mindset.
Yeah.
What was the inspiration behind that name?
Yeah, so I used to live with my mom. I want to say I moved out of her house when I was 16 years old. We was having some family issues. And then when I started back at my dad's house, after I moved out, I just basically started fresh. I ain't have no phone, no pape, no nothing. I was just there. And I kind of wanted to make something shake from the situation. And I was like, all right, I got to just basically rebuild a whole new identity for myself. And that's where the Reborn Mindset kind of phrase came from.
No, that's fire, bro, because entering a space where you have to rebuild or reinvent yourself, was that uncomfortable for you? Like,
it was definitely scary because prior to that, I used to play football.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'm going D1. Like I said in Fort Worth, we didn't have nothing but football. So I was like, I'm going D1. And then when that didn't happen, and then I moved out of my mother's house, I didn't know what I was going to do.
Yeah.
So it was definitely like a process trying to figure out what I'm going to do, my passion, all that stuff.
Yeah. So my co-host, Justin, he actually went to college for football, but things happened there which prevented him from moving forward. And so during that time, he had to go through kind of an identity shift of, okay, what am I going to do now? And things, fell in place for him.
Right.
But I wish he was here to tell that story because that's super big relation right there. Going through your first clothing brand, what was a mistake that you for sure know that you made? Because you said that you had 0 sales.
Yeah.
Started another one, didn't really do much. So what was a mistake that you think you made or that you made doing that?
The biggest mistake that I made in general was just not researching enough, not gathering enough information to be successful. Okay. It's a certain amount of information that's required for you to basically achieve anything. And I just didn't have it at the time. Yeah. And I was rushing. So I just got 0 sales. But as I rebuilt my brand Conflict the Lovers, I understood like, wait a minute. There was a lot of stuff that I didn't know, that I didn't use, that I didn't apply, that if I had the info, I would have been good. But just not doing the proper research at the beginning was one of the biggest mistakes that I made initially.
Is there any tactics to research that you use that, people can take from this?
If I could give one gem specifically about research, it would be to just apply one thing from every single video or podcast that you listen to. Because we get into the habit of just like watching content and kind of just getting motivated. And I tell my students this a lot. I tell them, hey guys, if you watch my videos and you don't actually apply some information, I think you're a little sus because you just on there watching me move my lips, talk, move my tongue, and then don't do anything after. So really, if I could give any gem in regards to the research and my process with it, it was like, I'm gonna watch a video and I'm just gonna do one thing that they said do inside the video. Yeah. And as I watch more videos, over time, I'm gonna watch 500 plus videos. That's 500 plus gems that I've tried and applied to my brand as well.
Yeah. They say knowledge is one thing, but applied knowledge is where you're gonna get the most results. So that's powerful. So you said students.
Right.
What's students for what?
Yeah. So basically, along with my clothing brand, I do coaching. Okay. So basically teaching other people how to do the same exact thing that I did.
Okay. Wow. So when did you start that? Because you started your first clothing brand in 17?
17 years old I was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how soon after that did you begin coaching? And what does that look like?
As soon as I named my clothing brand and I did my first drop, I created a YouTube video on like how to name your clothing brand just because I wanted to. YouTube has always been a passion of mine. Like I can go back to videos of myself, Fortnite montages, Madden clips, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just always been a passion. And then I had some information that I felt like people could kind of use. So I created videos on it. They liked the videos, so I kept doing more videos. And as I was doing more videos, people just asked me, yo, bro, can you help me out? Can you help me out? And I was doing like $50, $100 here. And then I actually just kind of got a team on the back end to kind of manage the system now.
Nice, bro. Yeah, bro. Like looking at my old videos, bro, I used to do Minecraft videos and Roblox videos, bro. This was when I was like 11, 10 years old.
Yeah.
And, definitely being able to go back and look at yourself grow. Like, I feel like us as the generation that's growing up in this technological age, gravitating towards creating content early on before we entered the world, those people that gravitated towards it, we're always going to try and do it.
Right.
Like, you know, I had this leap period in YouTube where, you know, it wasn't working, it was small, and I came back to it, and it's like that passion is still there. So I can definitely relate to that.
Fire.
But in your would you say it's a community or a course?
More of a community. Like
of a
there's course materials, but it's not like, hey, you have the course and you have nothing else.
Nice. So what would somebody join that course for? Like,
If you're a clothing brand owner that's serious about scaling your brand and you're looking for somebody to give you basically all the steps and hold your hand throughout the process, and you're willing to actually do the work, I think it's for them. It's not for the people who just want to pay somebody money and think that they're going to get instant results without even applying any information.
yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things, so I'm a graphic designer and I've worked with a lot of brands, but I don't really do that much anymore because most of them are unserious.
Yeah.
Like I would say out of the brands that I've worked with, maybe only one or two are still going right now. And
Yeah.
that's pretty sad. So I think that's a great filter to have for your community. But what have people been saying inside of the community that has really surprised you or that they wanted to learn about the most?
Yeah. I think the thing that people struggle with the most, so they seeking to kind of learn about it the most, is always marketing. They think that sales equals the marketing. So they just they want a bunch of marketing advice,
Yeah.
content, strategies, different stuff like that.
So what would you say about marketing? Is it the thing that's going to drive sales or?
I think marketing is important. Marketing is very important. If you can't make people aware of your product or aware of your brand, you kind of don't have a brand or a product because you're not going to get any sales. But I think in order to be able to market successfully, there has to be a lot of steps prior that you take. And then marketing kind of be easy once you take those prior steps.
Yeah. Can we go through those steps really quick?
Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about it. One of the biggest mistakes actually that I made with my clothing brand, Conflicted Lovers, was not really establishing a real deal brand identity.
Yeah.
When I first started, I was just designing stuff that I kind of liked, and I was 17 years old at the time. So my mindset, my lifestyle was totally different than it is when I'm 20. So initially, designs was like they had hearts, kissy faces, all the way up until I want to say like 2025 this year, actually, earlier these months. We were doing those kind of designs. And then I kind of realized like, this isn't really resembling with me and my brand identity. So it was difficult for me to actually go and do work to make the concepts kind of come to life. So I would say for people today, the biggest thing would be to know what your brand is about, the mission, the message, know directly who you want to target, and then just targeting those people.
So how did Certified Lovers come about? Is that the brand that you're talking about?
Yeah, the brand Conflicted Lovers. Yeah.
Conflicted Lovers. I'm so sorry.
Now you good.
Conflicted Lovers. How did you come up with that name? How did you start that?
Yeah, so
Because that's the one that you stuck with, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the one I'm still on right now, basically. We're going through the rebrand process, but I'm still on it right now. I came up with the concept just chilling in my room. I used to listen to a lot of Drake, a lot of Brent Faiyaz. So it was a lot of love and emotions, going through my mind and my heart. And I was on Pinterest one day and I kind of seen like the skeleton concept. It was a concept that I used for nightmares, but I read the caption and it said something like conflicted. And I kept scrolling through Pinterest and I seen something like lovers. And I was just like, let me just piece these two together.
Okay.
When I was choosing my brand name with my business partner, it was in between Angelic Conceptions and Conflicted Lovers. And I just thought about what would be easiest for me to make clothes around. And then I picked Conflicted Lovers.
Okay. So it's pretty important to, at that stage, would you say that you kind of with the knowledge that you just said, being that it didn't necessarily resonate with you as much, would you say it is very, very essential at the starting point to do something that's resonating with you or resonating with the audience you looking to serve? Which one is better?
I think 1,000,000% the brand has to resonate with you first and foremost, because if you're just creating clothes for other people, if we're being realistic, you don't really care about those other people. You're just doing stuff that you think that they will think is cool, but you don't even know what they think because you're not even in their head. So it's easiest to create designs, to create a message, to create a memo that's from you and that reflects your personal life and the things that you're doing, because it's easy to do. It's you.
Yeah, literally. The easiest way to do anything is authentically.
Yeah.
When you have a certain passion within you, that's what's going to come out. If you have hatred in you, that's what's going to come out. So whatever you actually are, is very, very smart. But one thing I will say about larger businesses, they don't focus on passion.
Yeah.
They focus on strictly what demographic has a problem that I can solve.
Yeah.
And how can I bring this solution in front of them? They don't even care about if they care about the problem.
Right.
And so that's kind of a difference that I've seen in, more corporate businesses compared to more, I would say, guerrilla type of businesses. I don't want to dumb down clothing brands by any means, but I would just say guerrilla type of businesses. So what keeps you grounded in the fact that you are moving forward in this lifestyle as a clothing brand owner and teaching? What keeps you grounded? Because I'm sure, working with so many influencers, working with other people, you kind of have some highs.
Right.
But what keeps you grounded?
I think the thing that just keeps me grounded is, number one, I'm 20 years old, right? And I've accomplished a lot of things, but I want to accomplish a lot more things. So I kind of got a good understanding that I'm not even near my peak. Not at all.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious to see how actually good I can become at my business, at life, health, everything. I'm just trying to become the ultimate, best version of myself.
Yeah.
That kind of battle right there is what keeps me kind of moving every single day. Just get better, just get better, just get better.
Nice. What's your relationship with failure?
Yeah. I feel like failure is completely a part of the process. Things are not going to work out. There's not one person that you know that started a business and instantly made $10,000 next month. There were so many failures. More than likely, we failed a lot more times than we won. But when we won, because we had so many failures, it was a huge win that was able to cover the multitude of failures that basically happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Failure, like you just said, bro, is part of it. The second that people are able to grasp the fact that it is a necessity to win, you have to fail in order to win.
Yeah.
And just like you said, most of these people have failed 100 times before they got their first win. It wasn't in the limelight. A lot of people are building in public now.
Right.
But most of these failures have been in the background, where a person is in their room, at the coffee shop, over and over, day over again, and they're not getting any results. But then they get that time where they win. You know? So that's very, very powerful. But what quality about yourself from kind of your childhood would you say has helped you in this process of pursuing entrepreneurship?
That's a good question. I think for me personally, I take that sports competitiveness that I had and just wanting to be the best in my field, right? And that may seem like, cocky or whatever it may be, but I pursue that because I know that if I'm the best in my field, I'm going to have the best possible returns. Let's say I own a clothing brand and I got to compete against Nike and Bape and all these other brands. They're taking a pretty huge percentage of the actual market cap. Yeah. So I got a good understanding that the better that I get at my craft, the more market cap I'm actually going to be able to take over. So it's just like getting better every single day, becoming the best in the field of play that I'm in is my main focus.
Yeah, for sure. One thing that I said in an episode before was, and I should have never said this, but basically I was saying that I'm not looking to reach the highest of highs during this lifetime, because I've kind of made this realization of, okay, you can get to a super high point, but the highest of highs, like being Guinness World Record or doing all this crazy stuff that you see people do, like I said, I didn't really want that. But after I watched that episode, I rethought that. I'm like, why would I say that?
Yeah.
Why would I say that I don't want to be at the best place that I can be?
Yeah.
And, you as a younger guy just getting into your 20s, that is a great mindset to have, because your progress is just going to compound.
Right.
You're going to get to higher and higher highs. And, you'll learn over time if that's actually what you want to do. Some people elect not to, but some people do. But I think that's a great mindset to have. Always getting better and, spewing out the best of yourself. Getting to the best of your industry is how you're going to win. That's the only way to win.
1,000,000%.
You said I'm
starting to lean more into the journey and the process, because there's 8 billion people on this planet. There's millions of businesses. So I don't necessarily think that the business that you're in is like the end all be all. I more so look towards the journey that comes with building the business because all businesses have inputs and outputs, right? But it's who you become in the process that I'm kind of working for, because the better that I get at business, that mean I failed more, that mean I was more disciplined, that mean I have to be more strategic, that mean I'm more intelligent as well, the better that I get. So in the pursuit of acquiring more money through business, I'm getting better as a person in general.
Yeah. Entrepreneurship is the best test of personal development.
Yeah.
If you go into this, especially early on, you're gonna know that there's parts of myself that I need to change in order to get certain outcomes in my business.
1,000,000%.
One space that I had to change was I wasn't necessarily antisocial, but social interaction wasn't something that I sought out. When you're growing a business, you need to have social interaction, whether it be by social media, but I prefer face to face.
Right.
Getting in front of your customers or people that can help you grow your business. That's something that I had to personal develop on. So what's something that you had to develop on in this journey so far?
I think my biggest weakness, even to this day, I can be fully authentic, has been women. Has been women. I think that's a lot of men's biggest weakness.
Yeah.
Especially because I'm young, and I mean, I would say I'm attractive and I'm chasing a mission. People are able to see that. Women are able to see that. They have definitely disturbed me and distracted me throughout this process, but I've allowed them to.
Yeah.
But I would say that's been my biggest kind of pitfalls throughout this entire process.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that if for periods of time I just stopped it or like didn't deal with it or didn't deal with it to the level that I was dealing with it, that I would be much further than I am right now, for a fact.
Yeah. That's great awareness.
Yeah.
Two of the strongest people in the Bible, and I'm not a Christian. Y'all know I'm not a Christian. Samson and the wisest man, Solomon,
Yeah.
were basically defeated by lust. Both of them were defeated by lust.
Yeah.
And you know, it can get easy when you're winning, when you're attractive, bro. Girls are just gonna come at you, and sometimes they're gonna throw themselves at you. But one thing that I have, just having those experiences, ain't nothing really out there for real.
Yeah.
Like when you really have those experiences, bro, there's nothing out here. So just having, one girl that is on your same path, and I'm not saying I'm for monogamy or polygamy, but
Yeah.
like having that one person keeps you away from a lot of stuff.
True.
They don't, like, when you outside, okay, you might talk to somebody, but you're not going to take that next step to be lustful towards them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's very, very high awareness. And we talk about this on this pod a lot. One of the biggest faults for men right now in the digital age is lust.
Yeah.
We have it everywhere we see. And these girls are perpetuating it too.
Right.
So I can definitely relate with how hard it is. But that's great, personal awareness to have.
Yeah.
A lot of men will not admit that.
Man.
Like just hearing in conversations, they'll like some men literally call women pieces of pussy.
Yeah.
Like piece of pussy. Like, what are you talking about, bro?
Yeah.
Like just having that experience, knowing that nothing is out there for real, staying away from it, and knowing that it's always going to be there.
Yeah.
It's going to be better at the times where you continue to work on yourself, where you lock in, it's going to be better.
1,000,000%.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
something me and my partners talk about a lot. My guy Tajay and Jai. It's like,
Shout out to him.
guys, we done spend so much time, nothing even really happening though.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're spending this time to attend these parties or go here or go there. We can't even get in the club. We're not 21.
Yeah.
We're 20.
Dang.
So like we're really not really doing nothing at all. We're not even in a section. We're just going out, right? We're not even getting the cream of the crop. We're wasting our time.
No, literally.
When we could just be developing our skills, getting better, and then if we feel like we want to have an event, like it'll be top tier versus the cheap and fake dopamine that we be getting today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, literally. The book I'm reading right now is called Dopamine Nation. And it lets you know just the position in terms of, neuroscience or science in general, where people are at and what we are succumbing to. And one thing, if you want to become a 1% person, all you have to do is stay away from it.
Right.
Stay away from the same dopamine that people are relying on, and go back, because, us as humans, we've been there before where we didn't have all of this cheap dopamine.
Right.
Go back to the behaviors that give us that long-lasting dopamine. We were gonna go on a run this morning. His flight was coming in later, so we decided not to go. But running is a form of dopamine. I hate running, me personally, but there's an actual reaction that happens in your brain when you do something you don't like to do, but it's helping you.
And it's hard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, same with cold showers. Cold showers give a healthy dose of dopamine, but there's a lot of things out here that give us very unhealthy doses of dopamine. One of the highest forms of dopamine for a man is releasing. Right. So having sex and releasing, that produces the highest spike, one of the highest spikes that humans are supposed to feel.
Yeah.
But guess what? Meth literally will give you a 4-time spike from that.
Jeez.
So the highest spike we're supposed to get as humans, we have something that's synthetic,
right, that
will give us 4 times that amount. So I can't blame people for being indulged in all of this dopaminergic activity.
Right.
Like it's here. So take it. But if you want to be in the 1%, which me personally, I'm aiming for the 1% of the 1%, you have to learn what this stuff is and how to get the healthy dosages from that. So that's great awareness, bro.
For sure.
But I kind of want to switch back into the clothing brand arena. And let's say somebody was trying to start a clothing brand for the first time. They're hearing you talk. They're like, bro, this guy 19, bro. Like, well, he did that at 19. Now he's 20, bro. Not even 21 yet.
Yeah.
I want to do the same thing. So what would you say is the best way for someone to get started creating a clothing brand in 2025?
If I could tell you guys how to start a clothing brand in 60 seconds, it would sound exactly like this. Step number 1, identify your why you want to get started. That why is going to keep you motivated because you're going to get scammed. Bulk orders are going to get messed up. Samples are going to get messed up. It's a process. Yeah. A clothing brand business is probably one of the most difficult business to actually operate. There's so many different financial things and different ends of the business, designing, marketing, editing, all that different stuff. So I would say number 1, identify your why. Number 2, build a solid brand identity. You need to have a solid reason why people are going to buy your clothes. What's the feeling that you're going to give off? After you have that, number 3, you can start working on the foundation, the logo, the first design. Make sure the design is unique. You can take some elements from other winning products, which is what I recommend do. That way you have those trending elements on your product as well. And then go ahead and set up the other foundation as far as the Shopify, SMS, all that stuff. Get your tech pack made from that design that you just got done. Send that to a manufacturer. Get your sample. Decide if you want to do pre-made or pre-order. If you want to do pre-made, order the bulk. And while all that stuff is getting made, plan out your marketing. Yeah. Plan out what you go post, when you go post it, how you go post it. And also make sure your back end is good throughout that period of time. Yeah. Sample comes in. One mistake people make is a sample comes in, let's just start posting, right? And then you're posting bullcrap because nothing was planned out. Yeah. So the sample comes in, you gather all the content first, and then you start posting the content, roll it out, drop it on Shopify, get the sales, get the dings, make the money.
Yeah. Hey, you just laid out the game plan. If y'all are not catching that, look, bro. So that first process in coming up with your why, doing the brand identity, get into the logos.
Yeah.
How long should that take?
I believe success loves speed. And I believe people delay things longer than they need to be delayed. Yeah. I came up with my name as fast as I wanted to come up with it. I was deciding that I don't want to make a decision today. You can just make a decision. You can literally just say, all right, I'm going to sit down for an hour and come up with my clothing brand name, right? It's not like the universe is going to send you a special name that you specifically need. It's a name. Yeah. It's a name, right? And it's a billion brands. So I would just say, just sit down, get it done. You can do that like in about an hour, realistically, if you really wanted to. You can really start a clothing brand in about 7 days. You're not going to have your sample in 7 days, but you can have everything done in about 7 days and then be waiting on your sample.
Yeah. And you also mentioned pre-order and pre-made.
Yeah.
So which times should a person run pre-orders rather than get inventory in bulk?
This would be my suggestion. This is what I did personally. I only ran pre-orders on products that I knew I was going to sell more than the units I could afford.
Okay.
Right. So I've had to spend about $40,000 on inventory for single bulk orders and different things like that. So if I knew that a product was going to be killer like that, and I usually can see from the traction that it has on TikTok or Instagram, I would just pre-order it because I know I'm not about to come out of $40,000 out of my personal pocket to go ahead and buy the bulk order. And also want to be able to make as much money as possible. So I would just pre-order if I knew it's a winning product. If it's not a crazy winning product, I would just do pre-made. If I'm starting out 25 to 50 pieces, I started with 50, 25 black, 25 white, sold them all out in about 2 weeks.
25 black, 25 white. So it wasn't too many products that you started off with.
No, I started one t-shirt.
One t-shirt.
It had a heart on the front, said conflicted, and then Loving You is Complicated on the back. That came from a Kendrick Lamar song. 25 black, 25 white. Quality was terrible, but they sold.
Is that something you recommend for other people, is to just start off with one product?
1,000,000%, because you don't know the fundamentals of the business. You don't know how to market. You don't know how to create content. You don't know anything, right? So you want us to get one product, make it easier on yourself, and then lock in on the fundamentals of actually dropping that one product. And then after that, start looking into collections and stuff like that.
Okay, cool. So I saw one video where you were talking about using AI in clothing brands. One of my businesses is called AI Educate, where we teach non-technical AI use cases. So how has AI contributed to you running and scaling your clothing brand?
Man, honestly, AI has been integrated like into my complete workflow. So there's not a day of work that I do that I don't use AI for. It just makes the whole process easier. But for specifics, it helps me come up with content ideas. It helps me plan out my marketing concepts. It even helped me build out the brand identity that I was digging into for my rebrand. Honestly, every single step of the process, I use AI, ChatGPT, Claude, different apps like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you experienced any limitations with that? Is there something that AI can't do for the clothing brand?
You have to be intelligent to use AI, though. You can't just tell them to do it and then pick the thing that they say do. Like, you have to have some sort of brains. So me, I just use it for more planning concepts. Like, at the masses, can you come up with 50 content ideas? They can come up with 50 content ideas faster than I can. And I can read through them and actually see which ones are good. But I just use it for like mass idea making, basically.
Yeah. So can you run through a process of how somebody can start a clothing brand completely with AI?
Yeah. I wouldn't say you can start a brand completely with AI because you still got to design and market. But all those steps that I just explained prior to, all the way from your why to starting, you could literally just have ChatGPT do the same thing. You just talk it to it throughout the process. Like, if you had a step-by-step instruction and you're starting with your why, and you're like, ChatGPT, help me come up with my why. This is where I'm from. This is my lifestyle. This is what I'm thinking. They're going to be able to write it out for you in word concepts. Same with the brand identity. And then when it comes to actually developing the product, they can help you come up with like fabric details. But you want to be knowledgeable of the different things, so you're just not using ChatGPT because they're not hip to streetwear and all those different things. They just know a broad basis of clothing business.
Yeah. If you give the best context to AI, it will give you the best output.
Yeah,
you know,
1,000,000%.
So you're here for an event.
Yeah.
What's that event called?
The Atlanta Streetwear Market.
Atlanta Streetwear Market. I remember when they first did their first year of that. So what's your opinion on the clothing brand community?
The community as a whole, and this might get me clipped or whatever it may be. I think that it's a wonderful community. I think that it's a lot of bright futures in the community. I can say it is some good cops and bad cops, some people that may not be running their businesses properly or not running the models properly, and it's affecting the community as a whole, particularly just people not shipping out their orders. I understand Shopify has recalls and all those different things. I've been through it personally, and I wasn't able to ship out orders for 4 months. But once it starts to extend and people are talking about years, now you're pushing it just a little bit. Actually, a lot of it.
Yeah.
So I would say that's the bad cop situation. That could affect the whole industry as a whole, because now people are looking at other IG brands as a scam. And especially now, if you're getting started with your brand, you don't have much social proof. It's going to be kind of difficult for you to just start ripping and making money.
Yeah.
Other than that, I would say it's good. Community's there. People engage. Some egos here and there. And I think I think the ego thing is actually like a African-American thing, less than it is a clothing brand community thing, though.
Okay. So would you consider it like a hype type of business to get into right now?
I would say it's still a hype business. Like it's oversaturated, to be honest.
So at the streetwear market, like, I don't know how many booths they have.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, you know, a lot of this, especially in Atlanta, the clothing brand scene, back when it was in high school, and you know, you started getting puffy print and people started learning about manufacturers.
Yeah.
It got real sticky, you know? But like you said, it is saturated. What do you think separates the brands that are actually going to have long-lasting success from the brands that are just, you know, one-time, one-hitter quitters?
It's going to be the brands that, number one, have a founder and you can see their face. So they're locked in, they're good. If you become the face of your brand, you basically become an influencer, right? You influence people's minds, thoughts, actions. You're like a thought leader at that point. So number one, they're going to have a founder. And number two, they're going to have their brand identity, that brand message. If it's just a bunch of designs, people don't care, because I know a million other people that make good designs. So that's really not going to do much for you when it comes to scaling all the way past 2026 and even just a long-lasting brand in general.
No, like that brand identity is something very, very important.
Yeah.
With my company, the Views Agency, we work on brand identity and brand design. And one of the misconceptions about brand identity is that it's invisible, that it's something that you can't really measure the impact of.
Yeah.
But you measure the impact based on your longevity and how people resonate with your brand.
Right.
If you're continually getting customers that are not in alignment with your brand, they want you to continue to change the design, or they have a problem with how you're saying this, that, and the third, that's not your customer, and you're probably communicating to them wrong.
Right.
And a part of the brand identity is, how are we going to talk to our customer? And so I think that is a very important aspect to have a long-lasting business. A lot of the larger corporations have been rebranding or brand refreshes, some of them, but a lot of them have done complete brand overhauls, both visually and within their strategy. So what is one thing inside of the brand identity, if you had to choose, is the most important part?
Most important part. Before I get into that, I would like to touch on the brand identity on a wider spectrum.
Okay.
Like Nike. Nike means just do it. They show ambition. They pay athletes billions of dollars each and every year to show ambition. They've been at their brand identity locked in. We just didn't see it as brand identity. We just saw it as like, oh, it's their slogan.
Yeah.
But their slogan is just do it. Their brand identity is just do it. They're targeting athletes every single day. So the one spectrum I would say specifically focus on is, number one, you have to create an identity, like I said, that is you. If it's not you, it's not going to work, because you're going to be trying to replicating something somebody else does, and it's going to be difficult for you to target people. And then the second thing I would say is just having a good understanding of the audience, right? If you got a message, if you got a meaning, you need to know who those people are, what they do, what they eat, how they sleep, when they wake up, what music they listen to, where they spend their time at, what's in their headspace, what type of content do they like. You usually can figure all these things out if your brand identity is you.
Yeah. Wow. I was just going to ask, how do you figure that out?
Yeah.
But when you say it's you, it's like, just think about what I would like. What music do I listen to? If they're in that same demographic with me, then they're going to follow the same suit.
Right.
That's powerful. That's powerful. But it seems like getting clear, you know, before you make that first move is what's going to give you that longevity.
For sure.
As opposed to, you know, a cash grab. Like some people are just out here to get money for a short period of time. Smart.
Yeah.
I support it. But if you're building a brand that you want people to recognize who you are, like we know exactly who Nike is.
Yeah.
That's literally who they are. That ambition, the hard work, kind of the sports type of setting, the just do it mentality, that's who they are.
Yeah.
So who is your brand? Who is Conflicted Lovers?
Yeah. And that's the reason why we're rebranding, right? That's the reason why we stopped taking it serious as we were taking it. Because initially, like I mentioned, we started when we were 17 and we were just kind of starting a clothing brand. At that time, I'm watching the YouTube videos. Nobody's talking about brand identity or brand foundation or anything like that. So I don't know much about it. I just want to design stuff that's around the name. So I kind of had a little bit of brand identity in there as far as matching the aesthetics to the name, but no real solid core concept. So there was no meaning. There was no message. We were just creating products that had love and hearts on them and roses and different stuff like that. But with the rebrand that I'm doing specifically, the rebrand is going to represent the internal war between who you are and who you are becoming, right? I feel like that's something that especially ties to me, and I can embody that brand identity. I know what that looks like, and I know who are going to be the people that purchase those products.
That internal conflict, who you are and who you are becoming.
Right.
Talk a little bit about that. Why is that a center point? And I know maybe because you're encountering that too, but what does that conflict look like?
Yeah. I mean, constant regret, I say. Even though I don't regret a lot of things that I've done, I regret time that I wasted.
Yeah.
Because like I just mentioned to you earlier, I wasted a lot of time with women. A lot of time, a lot of money. If you gave me all that back, for the span of the 4 years, I probably would have came up with $1 million, right?
And you single right now?
I'm single right now, yeah.
See?
I probably would have came up with $1 million, right? So I just got out of a relationship though.
Okay.
I probably would have came up with $1 million. So just that regret, I would say, is that internal conflict. Like, dang, I was once this person, once made these mistakes, but I have to keep going, even though they may still be affecting me or making me feel away right now.
Yeah. One thing that I see coming with this whole AI age is that a lot of people are going to lose their identity with themselves. Who I am now and who I'm going to be forced to become is what people are going to encounter.
Right.
So what's some advice that you can give to somebody to kind of mediate that internal conflict?
I feel like as we go throughout life, we allow certain influences to dictate who we are and who we become. And I think that ultimately we have the choice to decide who we are and who we want to become. I feel like a lot of people try to blame a lot of different things like, oh, well, this happened to me when I was a kid, or this girl did this to me and now I'm this guy. No, this girl did this and you chose to become that guy. So I would just say stick as close to the person that you want to be and you're going to be genuinely fulfilled. That's going to fulfill you genuinely because you're like, oh, I'm literally the person that I want to be.
Yeah. And along with those influences telling us or, you know, kind of leading us into a victim mindset.
Yeah.
I think we just are locked. We're locked into our present moment. And one thing that I found that helps me is by stepping into flow.
Right.
So how am I going to ride this wave rather than go against the waves? And so now the waves are crashing up against me. How am I going to flow with this and be a malleable person so that, especially being young, you're going to change drastically. How I thought at 20 years old is far from how I'm thinking at 23. Yeah. It's actually crazy. And, you know, being able to have some leniency with yourself and who you are, it's not to say that you have to be completely confused about your identity, but there's certain core aspects that you will always retain throughout life. So you can go from this career to this hustle to that career and still retain these certain things like integrity.
Right.
Are you a person of integrity? That's something that you can remain locked in that. You
Right.
don't have to be malleable or step into flow with that. But what are some characteristics that you would say help retain identity
Yeah,
in times where it's changing?
for sure. And I've been through a lot of things where I've had the opportunity to switch my identity. So I feel like this is actually a good topic. But I think for me personally, I like to think of the best possible outcomes if anything happens.
Mhm.
Best possible outcomes. I feel like nothing that happens is bad, right?
Yeah.
I mean, bad things happen, but nothing that happens is bad. Literally, everything happens for a reason, and you just dictate and choose what's going to happen after that. So a lot of people allow one bad thing to happen to end up three bad things. Oh, she broke up with me, so I started partying, getting drunk every single night, and then I got in a DUI. Right.
Yeah.
Now you're in jail. Right.
Okay.
You let one bad thing turn to 20 bad things. And for me, it's just letting the bad things happen and just understanding like, hey, this is a part of the process. What's the hole in this bad thing though?
Yeah.
Like, so if something happens mediocre, let's say I miss a flight, I don't look at it as it like, oh, I missed a flight to whatever event I had. It could be a huge event. It's like, maybe I need to learn to be more patient.
Yeah.
Or maybe I need to learn to be more on time. And then the next opportunity will come, I'll make sure I'm on time. And then that's probably going to be the opportunity that something big actually happens because I actually understood the lesson that life was trying to teach me.
Yeah, exactly. And I actually had a situation like that.
Yeah.
2023, me and my co-host were going to Las Vegas for his birthday. He was turning 21.
Fire.
And basically, my flights just got superbly delayed. And at that point, I was kind of stepping more into patience. I hadn't held a super grasp on meditation
Yeah.
that would bring me more, patience. But sitting in that situation forced me to people watch or
Yeah.
forced me to sit in the airport for a long time with nothing to do. And going through situations like that, taking the lesson from it rather than dwelling on how this is, inconveniencing me.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, just like you say, nothing bad really happens. It's literally how you look at it.
Right.
Anything like one person can look at a situation and become a victim from it, and another person can look at that situation and become a victor from it.
Perspective is the craziest thing on the planet.
It's crazy.
It's the craziest thing because there's 8 billion people. So that means there's 8 billion perspectives.
Man.
So I got a keen understanding that I could think one thing and somebody could think the total opposite, even presented the same situation. I believe I read Offers not too long ago, Alex Hormozi's Offers.
Okay.
I actually watched the training. I didn't read it, but I claim I read the book because the training is the book.
Yeah.
But there's an illustration where there's a 6 on the table. Right. And there's a guy right here and a guy right here. And the guy right there says, oh, that's a 9. The guy right here says it's a 6. Right. Just perspective
Literally.
on everything.
Yeah. And I think one thing that people have a problem with is coming to the realization that other people do not think the same way as you.
Yeah.
Your perspective is yours. It's been cultivated based on what you've perceived through your life. I have
Right.
not perceived the same things as you. It would be foolish for me to think that you would think the exact same way. And I think that that leads to a lot of other problems between relationships, communication, whatever you want to call it,
Right.
in different people. So that's a great grasp. What's one of the best pieces of advice that you've gotten so far in this industry? Have you been to any like masterminds, stuff like that?
I haven't went to many masterminds. I honestly haven't been to any. No masterminds. I want to go to one day. I just want to make sure I know obviously who the person is and kind of what they've done. I plan on going to some in the future for sure. I have watched a lot of
You'll probably have your
YouTube
own
videos. Yeah, I want to have my own coming up soon. Actually, I'm linking with some students today before the streetwear market. I'm gonna give them some sauce and then we'll go on about our day.
Yeah.
Like a mini mastermind. But the best piece of advice I can say that I've ever like heard and received that really stuck with me, I'll give 2. Number 1 is that you can't complain about the things that you don't have because of the work that you wasn't willing to do. Everything you say you want, you basically can get. You just have to do the work.
Yeah.
So instead of complaining about it, just do the work and then you'll get it. And piece of advice number 2 is from the same person, Alex Hormozi. He stated that the thing that you're looking for, the goal that you are looking to achieve, is on the opposite end of the trades that you aren't willing to make. And that's actually why I left my partner, to be honest, was because I realized that my goals exceeded the capacity of the relationship, right? And it was something that I just wasn't really willing to give up.
Yeah.
But then I had the clear understanding, like, hey, like, the trades that I'm not willing to make is on the opposite end of the goals that I want to achieve. So I just have to make a trade.
Yeah. What are you willing to sacrifice to get the things that you want? Whenever I'm on runs, I'm thinking, will I run for it?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the things that I claim to desire in my life. Will I run for it? Are you going to continue running, or are you going to slow down? Are you going to stop? And that's one thing that I use as motivation to push me forward. But you said that you left your partner. So honestly, bro, sub 20, leaving a partner, that sounds kind of crazy.
Man.
How was that experience? Not, you don't have to get into it if you don't want to, but like your feeling going through that, like what was that? Was it uncomfortable?
Real raw transparency. Well, it was already time. Like, it had been some time we were arguing. And then, like, as time went on, I'm just like, we're 20. Like, we can still be friends.
Wait, do you mean clothing brand partner or romantic partner?
I'm saying romantic partner.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I'm saying romantic partner.
My
Yeah,
bad,
me and my
my
guy
bad.
Jai, we still locked in. We good. I feel like it's actually easier to deal with those situations than romantical situations.
Yeah.
But specifically with the romantical partner, it was the capacity of my goals was outgrowing the relationship for both partners, to be honest. I wanted more from that person and I wanted more from myself, and we were capping each other out. If we want to chase these goals, but we're spending our time, dealing with the little nitty and gritty petty things that come with being a 20-year-old inside a relationship, wasting a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely is. And it's something that you are going to get used to.
Yeah.
Like letting go of friends, letting go of family.
Yeah.
Like that is the sacrifice that the 1% makes. That is the sacrifice that you make when you have ambitious desires, which that's who we talk to. We talk to the ambitious class. We do not talk to the people that are lazy on their couch. When you choose to go on that path, there are certain things that you're going to have to sacrifice.
1,000,000%.
You're going to have to step away from. You're going to have to make the hard decisions. And having a person that, isn't necessarily, they don't have to be holding you back, but they're not allowing you to move forward.
Yeah.
So that's a kind of,
holding you back.
kind of the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly wouldn't recommend nobody that doesn't have the things that they want to have,
Yeah.
aren't comfortable with themselves. Not necessarily aren't comfortable, but they don't feel like they are the best version of themselves just yet, to indulge in a relationship.
Yeah.
I think that once you get in a relationship, no, it's not a marriage, but it's kind of a marriage.
Yeah,
like you're going to have that person's anxieties, their worries. If they're going through something, it's going to naturally affect you. And for me, I'm a full-time entrepreneur. So I'm working all hours of the day. Like from when I get up to when I go to bed, unless I got to go outside the house to go get some food or something like that, I'm working. So anything that comes up, or everything that was coming up, honestly, like I didn't have any other issues besides relationship issues. And I was like, wait a minute, this is the only thing that is distracting me right now from achieving my goals. So I just had to kind of split ways.
Yeah. Like it's hard because, everybody want love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Conflicted lovers.
Yeah, man.
Everybody want love, but you would be doing that other person a disservice if you know that you aren't in the headspace where you can be level enough to be in that relationship with them.
Right.
Instead, you're continuing to talk about or think about your goals and want to pursue those rather than even talking to that person.
Right.
You like the best thing that you can do is just let them go do them. And it's going to be
100%.
hard.
Yeah.
It's real hard to do that. But is there anything I haven't asked you that you wanted me to ask?
We can talk about some business ventures that I've been on.
Okay.
Yeah.
New ventures.
New ventures. A lot of people don't know this, but I built my brand. I scaled to 6 figures. During that process, I built the agency. I won't release like what type of agency it was, but it was on social media. I scaled that past 6 figures, basically leveraging my personal brand as well. And right now, I'm currently working on an app called Dropflow, and it's basically going to help clothing brand owners manage their finances because that was the biggest mistake that I made. We made $100K the first year. It said it across the Shopify dashboard. We looked at the Chase account. It said $0.
Yeah.
We 17, like, wait a minute. I thought we was going to be up $0 in the Chase account. Shopify says 100K sales. That's when I knew, like, okay, something wasn't right. And we just wasn't playing the money right. So I wanted to create a tool that's easier to use in Google Sheets and Notes that's just going to help clothing brand owners.
So what is that actually, like, what's the problem that you encountered? Like, what caused you to have 100K in sales, but $0 in the bank account?
Really not tracking the money, not knowing exactly where the money's going and where the money's coming in, not knowing how much stuff costs, how much I'm spending on specific campaigns, different stuff like that, cost all the money to just go away. Because you see some money, so you're like, oh, let me go get a cool pillow, or let me go get a cool rug, or let me make a watch. I got a custom watch. Me and my partner have custom watches from the brand. Let me go make a custom watch and never release it.
Yeah.
Just different stuff like that, because you see money, so you want to do stuff with money, and you give yourself like the push because it's quote unquote brand related.
Yeah.
But really not seeing the numbers and where the money was going was why the money fled away.
Yeah.
It's a statement that says, what does it say? I believe it says you can only track or measure what you see realistically.
You can only grow what you measure.
Yeah,
or something
like that.
That's actually something I'm encountering with my macros in terms of fitness and nutrition. I want to gain about 15 pounds, and I cannot do that unless I track my macros.
Yeah.
I have to, because my body just does not gain weight easily, and it loses weight much faster.
Yeah.
So, you know, even when it comes to sleep, I got a Coros watch, and it tracks my sleep. Having the data on my sleep lets me know what is going to lead me to have the best possible performance during this day.
Right.
I had my first day where everything said great, 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 great on all of my stuff. You got like deep sleep, REM sleep, wake time, all of those.
Fire.
And the score for those has been great. And it turns out that morning I jumped out of the bed. And I would only know that if I tracked.
Yeah.
If I had that data to look at. And it's the same way in business. Budgets aren't to constrain you. Budgets are to track what I'm doing. When you have an R&D budget, you have a marketing budget, you have a team budget for sales or whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
You maybe have some corporate cards. You want to track all of those things and have them in their own pools. And even simpler, separating your personal business account or business finances, separating your personal finances from your business finances is very, very fundamental. Stop running your business on Cash App and Zelle. Please stop doing it, because, you know, if you get audited, you're done.
Yeah.
If you want to sell the business, you're done.
Yeah.
Because you aren't even running it the correct way. So I think that's a great idea. Do you have like a timeline? When do you expect to have that released?
I've been testing heavily. I've talked about it a little bit on my social media. So like some people know about it, but we're probably going to launch, like make a post or some things and actually run some marketing campaigns, pay some influencers, probably December 1st specifically.
Ooh,
but
nice.
It's already out and available for the people that want to get access to it. It's completely free.
It's on the App Store right now?
It's not on the App Store. It's on Google. Just search up Dropflow without the W.ai. It'll come up.
Is there like a code or free trial that people can have?
Basically, it's completely free right now. I'm just testing it out. I'm kind of trying to get that user experience up, get some people on the app. And then once I'm actually ready to innovate it, after tracking the user's behavior, see what they were doing, I'll obviously add some type of money model on there.
Nice. That's fire, bro.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, with the times that we're in, if you're an entrepreneur, you should be thinking the same way.
Yeah.
How can I leverage my problems that I've been through or that I've encountered and create a solution for those?
Right.
Anybody can create a solution for anything right now. It's just who is going to do it.
The fastest solution is always going to win, to be honest. And that's why Apple is the biggest company in the world, because they created the best phone in the world at the fastest time period possible. So that was definitely a decision that I had to make fast. And actually my partner started an app before me. The app is FitIQ. It basically allows people to enter their weight and their height, and they're able to see it on like a digital AI model, and they can actually put a photo of themselves and put the product on there. That's inside the Shopify App Store, though.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, check out FitIQ. Check out Dropflow.
Yeah, Dropflow.
Yeah, and is that geared towards drop shippers, or is it geared towards brand
E-commerce stores.
Okay,
so
e-commerce.
if you drop ship, you get your inventory, you manage it, you can be able to use it.
Okay,
for sure.
Nice. So we're coming to the end of the episode. What advice would you give young adults, anybody either in life or in clothing brands, that you just want to share with the people as a lasting kind of memory for them to have?
Yeah, this will be my last thing. And I think this will be the most powerful thing. And a lot of people aren't going to like it because it might sound too good to be true, right? But this is what I believe. I believe that if you have a goal, right, and you really, truly want to get to your goal, which we all say we do, but we all don't really want to. We may want to, but we could want it better, realistically. Even I know that, right? But I would say if you have a goal and you want to get there as fast as possible, eliminate everything that's not getting you closer to that goal. That may be going monk mode completely. That may be going no music, no inputs, no social media. You're replacing all those things with things that's going to get you closer to the goal. And if you do that, the more you do it, obviously you're going to get to your goal a lot faster. You can always get to your goals. It's always going to come as long as you're working. But if you want to decrease that amount of time, do nothing else but input towards that goal, and you'll get to your goal a lot faster.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, man, y'all heard it. D, I appreciate you for coming on,
appreciate
bro.
You, my guy.
Dropping some game. Link your social media so people can find
IG at D Builds Brands. That's my teaching account if you guys want clothing brand help. My main IG is at D Working, and YouTube at Minded D. I post a lot of game on there. I think I drop a video every Friday and Tuesday.
Nice, bro. Hey, check them out. Let me know what y'all think about this episode. Definitely tap in with D. Join the Pure Intentions community. Link is in the description. We are growing together. We're sharing information. So you definitely want to be a part of that. But also check out D's community, where you can join and learn directly from him. And yeah, man, this has been the Pure Intentions Podcast, episode number 50. And we out.
There we go.
If you enjoyed this video, then check out our full podcast playlist and stay up to date and notified when you join the Pure Intentions Discord community. See you in the next one.